Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create an aged or distressed effect image by combining a couple of my Friday freebies. Now, we're going to do this in Photoshop CC, although this is perfectly possible to do in older versions of Photoshop as well. Before we go into the Photoshop things though, we need to go and download the Friday freebies, and when I say free, I really do mean free. There's no hidden sign-ups, no secret anything, just download them and enjoy them. Okay, so let's head over to my website at gavtrain.com, and there you're going to find the Friday freebie link, and we need 2 Friday freebies to make this effect. First one is the cut corners action, just download it by clicking the button, away you go. And the second one is the cracked Photoshop brushes. Once again, just download them by clicking the button there. Simple as that. Now once you've done that, you need to save them somewhere useful, so I've popped mine on a folder in my downloads box or your desktop or wherever it is. Now installing actions and installing Photoshop brushes really couldn't be simpler if you know the hidden trick. And the hidden trick is, well, this. First of all, make sure your Photoshop is blank, there are no open images or documents. Then all you need to do is to click on the downloaded brushes, once you've unzipped them of course, don't forget to unzip them first, and then just drag them and drop them onto a blank bit of Photoshop. The key word is copy that you can see attached there, because when I let go, it copies the brushes and puts them into the right bit of Photoshop automatically. Yep, it's that easy. Don't believe me? Well, let's do it with the action and show you here. Notice there are no actions, just the default ones. Well, I can drag my cut corners actions and drop it into Photoshop and it instantly loads them in. How easy was that? Now we need a photograph, of course, and this will work with any photograph, but this nice little black and white one feels suitably vintage and retro. Let's start by running the action. We'll click the action itself, click the play button, and off it goes. Now this action is fully automated, no user interaction whatsoever. As long as your picture is an RGB format, you'll be absolutely fine, and in a few seconds it'll convert it and add in this cut corner border. And that's it, simple as that. In fact, we can just close down the actions by double clicking them, just hide them away for now, they've done their job. Next step is to add some distressing, and we're going to add it just to the photograph. So I'll click the photograph layer, that's the background layer, and then I'll come down and add in a new blank layer at the top. There we go. The colour for our cracking effect is important, and I'm going to sample it from this thin border. So let's click on the foreground colour. It might look white, but in fact when I click it, you'll see it's a very, very light grey. So the brushes, well, we could just use the brushes here and come down and find them, but there's a much better way of doing it, and it's the brush panel, which is this little button right next to the brushes on the options bar. It brings up the brush panel here, and if I go down I'll find them. There they are, 1, 2, 3 brushes, and those are my cracked brushes. Let's start with the first one, and you'll see why I'm using this brush panel in just a minute. So all we need to do is just to get a nice big brush, and we'll just click, and that will add in the cracks instantly. And then we can add some more at the top there. We'll change to one of the other brushes, a little bit smaller maybe. We'll come and add some in here. And probably we want to come and change the angle of these. And this is why I like using the brush panel here, because I can get this little compassy thing. I can spin it around. So I can add some angled cracks in as well as some straight ones. So we can come and put some bits like that. And we'll get the nice big one. And we'll angle that right over, I think. So that goes and does the sides. A few little cracks here and there, and we'll add a bit more of a twist to it just to do the 2 corners. Okay, there we go. So that just gives a nice cracked effect to the picture. Now just to blend that in completely, I'll change the layer blending mode from normal to lighten. It's a subtle effect, but it just adds the extra edge. Right, so that's the cracking and aging and distressing done on the photograph. Now we're going to do it to the border, and the technique to do it on the border is, well, basically, if I'm honest, the same as the technique on the picture, but with a very slight twist. So coming up to our layers, I'll click on the top layer, that's the border layer. I'll add a brand new layer at the top, and well, let's start with a colour. Let's choose a colour that would be suitable by clicking on the foreground colour square or swatch. And I'm going to go with this dark brown shadowy bit at the side. In fact, I'm even going to go slightly darker than that. Let's go for a nice sort of rich dark brown, something like that. Now that adds a nice colour for my effect, and all I really need to do is start clicking, but I am just going to change the blending mode to overlay, just to get a nice effect, because that will vary the colour and it'll blend in with the background. And you can see how we can just add a few clicks just to distress this up. Let's go back to our brush panel here and we'll select a few of the other brushes. Again, we'll make them nice and big, stretch that out a little bit like so, and we'll come across here, there we go. And once again, we're going to spin these around. Don't be afraid to move your brushes about, because it's nice and easy to do with that panel. Okay, and we'll just add a few little sample clicks in like so. Yeah, okay, so you get the idea. That looks pretty good. Now we could stop there, but just to make this look really good, we're going to add a little darkened ring right around the edge of the border. And I've got a nice simple way that keeps that organic look going and still uses the same brushes. So let's start with the brush of my choice, which I think, oh, we don't want it there, we want it up there, there we go, which I think will be that last one right there. And with that selected, I'm just going to go with the shape dynamics, and then I'll turn on the size jitter. Watch the preview down here as I do, and you'll see it changes, and the angled jitter is the one that really makes a difference, and the roundness jitter like so. So that takes our straight brush and really kind of randomizes it. So all we're going to do is just paint around the edges. I'll make a brand new layer to do this on as well. And we're just going to paint around the edges like so. And you see we get this lovely random spotty and dotty effect right the way around like so. And I know what you're thinking, that really doesn't look very good. Trust me, it will get better. Once more around, because what I'm going to do now is go to Filter and Blur and Gaussian Blur. And this is why I wanted to put it on its own layer, because we're going to blur it up about 10 pixels. Sounds fine. And we'll change the blending mode from normal to overlay. And that just adds that nice kind of stained effect around the outside. And in fact, the layer below, we'll just click that and drop the opacity down a little bit too. So there you go. There's how we can take our standard modern clean image and give it a real rustic, vintage and slightly distressed use simply by using 2 of my Friday freebies. Now, if you've enjoyed this tutorial and you want to see more tutorials or get more Friday freebies, simply head over to my website at www.gavtrain.com. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.